I'm going to start the recapping process, but before I do that, I want to check to see what the B plus voltage actually is. So, let's see what this thing does. Before I pull the chassis, I want to double check to see what the B plus voltage comes up to. I must not have a good connection to my meter. I have to check it. Well, 247 volts. It's supposed to be 255, so it's just a little low, which I'm not really concerned about. Let me check my voltage. Now my voltage is a little low. Let me bring that up to where it's supposed to be. There we go, 259 volts. So basically 4 volts over, and somebody else who actually worked on one of these said that when he put silicone diodes in, that it only raised the B plus voltage up 4 volts. Well, there you are. There's about 4 volts. And notice that here I've got full raster now, vertical height. So I'm going to pull this chassis and start putting new capacitors in it. So the next step is to replace all the paper foil capacitors with new Mylar film capacitors, and that's what I'm going to do now. Here's something interesting. I started to desolder this 0.01 capacitor from this terminal, and this resistor here just popped loose. It was just stuck in the solder, but it wasn't looped through the terminal, which, you know, and that's factory. That's the way they did it at the factory, which is not really a way to attach a component. You got to really loop it through and get a good mechanical connection before you solder it. Here's something else to point out. Look at how loose it was at the other end. Hope this shows up, but this resistor, that was a failure right there. And I got it, a new resistor in there, and I got that soldered together on that joint. So it's all capped, recapped I should say, and it's going back together. I think it's about as good as I could get the picture linearity. I played around with it a little bit, but I think I'm going to put this back together and maybe do a couple of more adjustments on it, and that should be about it. It looks to me pretty good. So it's working. I don't think I got the picture quite vertically centered right. According to my crosshatch generator, it was. The dot was right in the middle. The linearity could be a little off.
State prosecutors believe that the relative humidity was 90%. His childhood.
The party that I have received.
For every honest man in this town when I say I am fed up to here. My hand is under my chin.
Well, I guess this is about as done as I'm going to make it at this point. The picture tube is pretty tired. It looks like there's kind of a ghost line in one side of it. I don't know what that's all about. I mean, I could spend hours with a scope and everything trying to figure out if the circuit is working exactly right.
4 times as big, and investigators are now saying it's one of the...
between 400 and 500 of them. Well,
Warnings were made.
Thank you, Tina. Beauty is more than beauty.
Well,
Point is my bangs, and I wow them with my winning personality.
You wow me like you